And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. Already 8:30 on this Tuesday morning, the 16th.
Yes.
Half of the month gone.
It is a messy, messy day.
So, and I haven't left and been out into the big wide world. What's the roads look like?
The roads are so slick, so be very, very careful this morning. And then my husband was on the way, into town to work today, and he said that he hit several deep water spots on the road, that you will hydroplane in a hurry if you don't be careful. So, but they're very slick. I mean, I was not going very fast coming around a curve this morning, and my car was starting to kind of and it scares me because that thing is heavy,
And if you've got pictures, early this morning, Jerry Irvin sent in these pictures. Let me show this. This is out, and let's pull it up where you can read it here, on Bonita Drive, flooding there. If you can see these pictures that we're showing here, water across the road.
Goodness.
And that's a lot of it. So if you encounter any of that, inbox me some pictures. We'll be glad to share that to everybody so they'll know what they're encountering. What's going to happen over the next 24 hours? Wow. We got thunderstorms today, and then now we've moved up. The scale runs from 1 to 5, 5 being the worst. Yesterday we were at a 3, and they've moved us to a Category 4. Now, is there a chance that could be moved up? Yes, it is. But 4 is pretty serious. This includes Clark County and due north all the way to the top of the state of Mississippi. Due south of us will be a number 3, and then right at the coast will be a 2 area. So that's what we're looking at. And let's pull up just a little bit in case you weren't around earlier this morning when I was discussing some weather. Let's go over what's at hand today. This is the chances of flash flooding. Portions of Kemper, Lauderdale, Clark, Newton, and Jasper County, and then down into the Laurel-Hattiesburg area. So we could have some 1 to 3 inches of rain today, quick. Earlier this morning, and I think it runs until 9 o'clock, Clark County went under a flash flood. All right, as we look at, this is the risk of thunderstorms today. We're at a 1 out of 5. So pretty much means we'll just get some wind gusts. You can't rule out a tornado whatsoever because it's Mother Nature.
Yeah. It's
not as likely, but it could happen. So we'll remember that. And hail. As we move to tomorrow, this is where things are different. We've got that 4 area, all of this red. If you live north of this line, you're in the red zone. Number 3 is this area from Laurel over to Vicksburg into Louisiana, and then from Hattiesburg due south to the coast is going to be a 2. Hattiesburg is actually still in the 3 area, and just to the south of there it goes to that 3. So this is the weather, and it's tornadoes are likely. And what I'm meaning by that, again, I'm not saying that a tornado is going to hit you, but somewhere in this area where we all live, they're going to develop. And the bad part about this is a lot of meteorologists are leaning more towards these being long tornadoes.
Really?
To where, where most of them will jump down and they run a half a mile and then go on. A long one would be 40, 50 miles long. When it hits the ground, it stays there.
On the ground. That's scary.
So,
that is so scary.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is the Alabama side of this here. This is all of our friends, Demopolis, Livingston, Alabama. You're in this 4 as well. Keep it in mind as we move with this. This is the time zone we're looking at here. Anywhere from 1 o'clock on. I'd backed it up to 2 yesterday. Alabama is calling it a 1 and crossing over that state line, so I'm going to believe them. So let's start paying attention tomorrow beginning at, say, 10:30. Okay. Any time in there, start looking for weather to be kind of rough there. And as we've mentioned before, if you live in a mobile home and there's a tornado warning issued, get out and go somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a shelter, don't stay there. Go to a friend's house, or even if you have to go somewhere like Walmart, stay an hour.
Yeah. I might be taking both my sons with me to work tomorrow because if I'm supposed to go to work, but usually we have a lot of people start canceling when the weather's going to be really bad. They don't want to get out in it.
And you can't blame them.
Right. I don't blame them because I don't want to be out in it myself. But yeah, we live in a mobile home, and so that's scary to me.
It is. And again, I've said this several times. I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to downplay or run somebody down who lives in a mobile home. That's not what that's about. No. This is your safety.
Right.
Your life.
It's just, just use your common sense.
Yeah.
And get out of there. And a lot of people, I hear a lot of people go, if it's going to get me, it's going to get me. That is not the way to look at things. you know, God gave us common sense for a reason.
And you got to use it.
Right.
And I showed this picture earlier this morning, and this is just one of many that you can look at. It can take one and just chunk it.
Look, years ago, when was it? Where was this at?
I don't even know. I just
Okay,
grabbed
because
this
I
one.
was going to ask you, was it 0? Because
that
years
was
ago, do
horrible.
you remember that?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I was a teenager then, but that was an awful scene. If you did not go out there anywhere near where those trailers and stuff were hit, those mobile homes, and I mean, it looked like a disaster. I mean, it looked like something like that, like he just showed you.
And if you remember, you know, it was 11 people died in that.
And that baby was thrown into the tree. That's when the baby was found.
Oh, that
in the
was
tree.
the earlier one, yeah.
Do you remember? Wasn't
Yes.
it? Isn't that when it was?
I think that was the one before that.
I don't know, but I just remember it was around about then. I thought that was when the baby was found in the tree. And then Time magazine, remember, had the baby.
Right.
But that was just a scary thing. I mean, you just would see the base of the mobile home, and the rest of it was just gone. I mean, you know.
The one I'm talking about is where everybody, it was 3 or 4 houses down the road, came to one mobile home, and they all got in. It was 11 people there when it hit.
Oh, well,
This
that
was
might have been, I don't know.
Horrible.
It was
and,
awful,
you know, we
though.
raised money for the funerals
Oh, yeah.
on the radio back then. And you can live, again, let me stress this, you can live in a brick home and it kill you.
That's exactly right. I remember on 493 years ago when these people, their home and their store and everything was the Covingtons. Do you remember that?
I do.
It was just completely wiped away.
That's in the curve if you're coming out of
Yes.
Meridian past PV Electronics. You get down to the sharp curve there, and that's the Covingtons that live there on the left.
And I remember there was a little store across the road, and
That
the
was
only
theirs.
thing left standing, well, you know, they had a store,
Yeah.
and then there was another little
That's
store
right.
across the road that I don't think was being used, but somebody, if I can remember correctly, somebody was in the got in that, I don't know, maybe had climbed into the bathroom, but the bathroom was the only thing left, the little part of the bathroom was the
Right.
only thing left standing of that building, but
They survived.
yeah, I mean, that was a brick home, though. Their home that got wiped away. That was the scariest thing to see.
And I just pulled this up. AccuWeather had this, and this was filmed on Grand Avenue in Meridian in 2008. Have you seen this video of this tornado?
No.
This was Meridian. Now, again, the gentleman's name I cannot pronounce. It's a Jew, maybe. I'm saying this wrong. His name is, I'm going to give credit to him, it's in the left-hand picture of this. AccuWeather, every station nationwide ran this story. And let's pull this up where you can see this. This
was Meridian. Right?
Meridian, Mississippi on Grand Avenue. And it's a different language. I don't know which type, but you'll hear that. But watch what happens. Pay attention when this video starts at the house across the road. All right, here it comes in.
You know, I did see this
You did?
video. I did.
Now, this is the house
and
here.
it's scary. You see the trees start swirling.
And this is just how quickly, you know, that looks just like a little wind is blowing.
Yeah.
And then it's going to pick up. You see that? And I don't think it's getting a lot of sound from that. It's not. And that's okay because that wind is really loud from this. All right, it's getting ready to strike. And about right there it goes. And that's how quick. Now, again, that's a brick home.
Yeah.
Now, as you will notice in this, the interior walls held. And that's why you're told if a tornado strikes, and just look how bad this is, to get to that innermost wall of your home. That's the safest place you can get. And a lot of people, a lot of the older homes, that bathroom was usually right in the center of that hall. They get down in the tub, those old metal tubs, gave you a little bit more protection.
And they'll also, a lot of the older homes will have like closets in the hallway and stuff like that. So it's just get away from the windows. If you can't leave your home, get away from the windows and, like he said, get in an interior room.
Now, the old theory, and I know you've heard this as much as I am because we're pretty close to the same age, used to be, go open up your windows so the tornado can blow through and not build pressure in your house and take your roof off. That's been proved wrong. Do not open the windows. That makes it worse for it to come in and blow your house. Just
You would,
rip to pieces.
you would think it would make it.
But that is a theory that was debunked. So do not open your windows if a tornado is coming for the wind to come in your home because it just puts more pressure and will raise it up.
I'm just not looking forward to this. I'm gonna tell you, it's just.
It's scary. And we say all this stuff not to spook people and make you frantic. We're telling you this to save your life.
Right.
And I don't, when storms hit, I'm not going to be use big words that you've got to go find a dictionary to try to figure out what I'm talking about. I'm going to make things as simple that I want to be talked to. When I'm talking to somebody, I don't like, you ever had a conversation with somebody
Yes.
and you walk away and you
Yes.
go, I wonder what they really said. Well, I don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you where the storm is, where it's headed, and walk you through it very simply. So I guess that's kind of my weather
Which is the
update.
best thing to do for people because, I mean, you're already, your nerves and everything's
Yeah.
already on like a maximum high. Like you feel like you're just going to, I know I do. I mean, I don't want somebody like being difficult telling me
Right.
things.
Now, again, if you wouldn't mind, share my page. Now, to get alerts, Facebook has changed things. Used to, you could just go up and click like, and you would get the alerts and notifications. It doesn't work that way anymore. You'd have to look the page up. If you'll go to it, you'll like and follow it. When you follow it, there's a little eyeglass there. If you're watching now, you can click that, and it'll give you the alerts when we go live to keep you up to date with it. So do that so you'll be on top of this because it can happen at a moment's notice. I jumped up at 3 o'clock, as I told you
Yeah.
last night, and I couldn't go back to sleep after we had that little warning go out for Clark County there.
Yeah.
Nothing serious. There was a tornado warning on the edge of Alabama last night, a brief one, and then went on. We had one thunderstorm warning about 8:30 last night, Scott County and also Leake County. It lasted about 15 minutes, and then it expired, and then just kind of went on up through Neshoba County. But we'll follow this street by street for you.
Well, just check though on your phone, on your notifications to make sure, like he said, that you are following the page because,
Right.
like, I mean, I don't know what Facebook sometimes does. Maybe it adjusts that. I don't know, but like I've always got notifications, and when we go live, and I did not today, so I'm gonna have to check mine. You know, I don't know what's
Like I
going
got a
on,
note
so.
this morning from Facebook when I logged in. It says something new is coming in 3 days to your page. I don't know what.
Yeah.
And me and Candace were up here one day, and they changed, how we go live. And I was like, oh my gosh, what'd I do?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what to push.
Yeah.
Because it's like 4 or 5 different steps you have to take to make all of this stuff work. So
Yeah.
when
Well,
they
yeah.
throw curveballs, it's scary.
Yeah, I wish they would give you a little heads up every time when they're gonna change something, because like I don't know, you know what.
Like I'm that old boy that needs like support, like call somebody. Okay, can y'all walk me through this and send me some like directions?
Yeah.
And they don't do that.
Yeah. So, and I actually did get a notification earlier when you went live for the weather.
Earlier this morning?
at 6:30. Yeah, but I don't know why I didn't get it this time. So I don't know.
Again, let me bring up helmets. I showed the video. Get you a helmet, whether it's a football, it's a riding bicycle for your head. Air horns, carry those with you in case your home was destroyed and people are looking for you. You can blow that and they can hear where you are. Put it in your pocket. They make them
And
about
a lot
yay
of y'all
big.
might laugh when you hear him
Yeah.
say something like that, but it really does make a lot of sense. You know, just have this, because really, I mean, seriously, things can happen. I mean, you're in a home and stuff starts. If a tornado comes through, I mean, debris, anything could hit you.
I think it was 1993, if I remember right. Who remembers the tornado that hit Wahalek, Mississippi? That's just 7 miles due north of Scuba. You take a left. My brother-in-law's mother and his grandmother were in a home, and it hit like at 3 in the morning. Brand new home. There was absolutely nothing left. And when I talk about wearing thick boots and soles, you have to have that to be able to even to get up in, because nails are everywhere.
Yeah.
And his mother made it, but his grandmother did not. The roof fell in on his grandmother, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
But his mother did make it. She got to a safe place because it hit just like that. And back in 1993, there was not, now we've got lead time. Back then it was, whoop. And when an alarm went off that a tornado, you didn't know where it was. Now there's radar and people talking about it. Back in the old days, they'd do Lauderdale County, there's a tornado warning, and you wouldn't know where. You're like, oh my gosh, am I in the path? And wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's scary. I can remember years ago being at my grandparents' in town, which was over behind the college. And I remember looking in the distance, it was like just this navy blue looking dark, almost black
Yeah.
cloud. and you could see lightning going into it. My mother was at work in town, but my stepdad was at home. And come to find out, he had left, because we lived in a single wide trailer. He had left the trailer and was headed down King Road, and his truck got blown off the road while he was trying to drive. You know, I don't recommend trying to drive and there's something, but if you're trying to get out, you know, of a trailer, I guess.
And keep in mind now, the bigger the vehicle, like how many times have we seen on interstates where 18-wheelers, SUVs, that wind gets underneath them and flips them. Just keep in mind that traveling is not advised, but if it's coming towards you, you got to take your best bet and go.
Yeah.
And always do what your mama said, wear clean underwear tomorrow. Whatever you do, wear your best Sunday underwear.
Start out with clean ones.
Yeah, because you may not once it's all over. You get a little spooked there.
Goodness.
So we've got a weather event coming up.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I know we sound like we're just really blowing it up, but it's something to really be concerned about.
You know, last year we were really fortunate. If you remember, Easter was the only time that we really had the threat of tornadoes last year. You know, there was a brief one here, there, and yonder, but there was nothing. This compares to last year, the threat that was put out a couple days in advance, and they've done that again this year. But we didn't have that multiple rounds of this last year.
Yeah.
Don't know how this year is going to play out, but this is our first one. It's a little bit earlier than last year.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather be all, you know, prepared and concerned about it, and then if nothing happens, fine, but I just would not want to not be prepared and not worry, you know, not concerned about it, and then just something happens.
Let's look at radar real quick here of what we've got. This is what's going on this morning. East side of Meridian. Let's turn on some locations where you know where it's raining, where you are. This is downtown Meridian. We pick up here. This is going to be the Lauderdale County Agri Center. And don't forget, early tomorrow, they're moving and I hadn't checked this morning to see if that's been changed, but 9 a.m. for the food giveaway, early. And then we follow this out, heavy rain out through Dollar General there, the Boy Scouts out on going toward Alabama there before you get to Wynot, down where the Girl Scouts is, a lot of rain there. And we go north up to Tom Bailey Lake, a lot of rain there. Out to right across the line there. This is going to be right over at McElroy Trucking there, across the line there at Cuba. Raining heavy there. This is going to be north of there at Lake Louie as you head toward York, Alabama. A lot of rain there if you're traveling 20 or 17. Be careful. That's what we can say about that. We look over here as we zoom in. This is going to be Charles, and this is going to be Ward, Alabama, getting rain. As we go south, it gets a little bit heavier. A little bit of rain there across where Clarko State Park is. The further south we go into Clark County. This is Shibuda here at the Dollar General. Look how heavy that rain is. We've had lightning strikes there in the last 8:34. That was probably about 15 minutes ago. Lightning strikes there on the leading edge of that. This is going to be the Carmichael community. This is over at Shady Grove Church. A lot of rain there as we go south down into Wayne County, just to the northwest of Waynesboro. A lot of rain there. And let me just, while we're here, let's look at this, what we've got tomorrow. This is the area, and let's close this. This is the red area. Let's turn this off where you can see this.
Does that go up to Starkville too?
Yes, this goes all the way. It starts right here in Clark County and is going to go due north all the way to the top of the state, all the way up here, up to Memphis, Jonesboro, Arkansas, and Jackson, Tennessee. This is the area that tornadoes are most likely to break out tomorrow. Now, let's zoom in and look at this. Now, there's not, as I mentioned this earlier this morning, a tornado doesn't think like we do. It's not going to be, whoop, I can't start here because that's the red line over here. It could very well start down here in this yellow and build and build and build, and by the time it gets here, it's huge. I've seen that happen. The line of the worst activity now, this is that 3 area here, Jackson, Brandon. We pick up, let's look at this here in Lauderdale County. This is going to be just shy of Enterprise. Now, again, Enterprise, pay attention. It's just a stone's throw from the city limits there. As you go up through here, this is going to cut across through Chunky. Let's turn on locations here since we're zoomed in where you can see. This is Enterprise right here. This is where the Piggly Wiggly is in Stonewall. Just to the east of there, you come up Gun Drive. Right there where Dunn's Falls is about where the line is, Stuckey's Bridge. You come on up right across there about where the split is, coming in Meridian. Chunky just to the east of you as we go on up through here where Lazy Acres Christmas Tree Farm is, and it cuts across. This is the part of Newton County it's going to grab. And Union, you're in this, along with the Little Rock area, and then all the way back. We go up through Neshoba County here. It's going to cut straight across. This is where Neshoba Baptist Church is, Neshoba County Fairgrounds, and it's a straight line as we go up here to Carthage where the Exxon station is there sitting on the road. I think everybody knows where that is. 25 on into Louisville. All of this Louisville area, Kosciuszko, you all are in this. Mississippi State, as you see this. And again, I cannot stress just how serious this stuff is of what we're looking at. Lots to talk about today, tomorrow. We're looking at, again, time-wise. Let's talk about that. 1 o'clock-ish, but let's back it up and be prepared. 10:30, 11 o'clock, be on your tiptoes of weather awareness. Have I said too much? Am I running on?
No, I mean, I think it's good to be informed.
So that's where we are on everything. And just please, just be aware of what's going on. We want you to have the absolute most information overload, I think, is what I'm trying to say there. Well, as we begin this morning talking about things that are going on in America, and I cringe. I mean, the thought of this made me want to throw up this morning when I read this, because like when you hear a song, you hear it and you live that song for 3 minutes. I read this story, and I can't imagine what this family went through. There was a car wreck last night in Houston, Texas. Look at this here. A mother and 2 of the children burned alive in the car. There is one child that is in the hospital that hasn't passed away, in very, very serious condition. They were at a red light. Somebody rear ends them. The car she's sandwiched in between. The car is mangled, and they could not get out.
Oh, my goodness.
A 7-month-old burned up. A 2-year-old burned up, and a 5-year-old is in the hospital, and the mother also burned up in the car.
That is horrible.
There's a 9-car pileup about 9 o'clock. And, think about what you were doing last night at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and you're just sitting at a red light.
Yeah. That's how quickly life can take a turn. And I'm telling you, that made me so ill. I mean, it makes you cry, because you want to help somebody in that. Can you imagine being there? And I don't know if you've ever been around anything like that. When I was a teenager, there was a kid going to Mississippi State. You go through Scuba, and there's a long stretch of open highway, and we used to call it Presley Bottom, before you got to Wahalak. There was a kid that was going back to college. He was hit head-on by a drunk, and he was trapped in his car and burned, and we come up on it. And I have never in my life witnessed something so horrific. There was nothing we could do.
Yeah.
I was 16, 17 years old, and it stuck with me.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why that story there just rips me apart.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this happens all over the United States, and we just don't pick up every story that's thrown out there.
Yeah.
But that's heart-touching.
Yeah, I can't even fathom that. I mean, I just can't even imagine it.
I know. So just keep that family in your prayers. I don't know their names. They hadn't released any of that. But when you talk to the good Lord, send up a prayer for them. Somebody. Whoa. In other news this morning, the U.S. Marines, and I don't know that they've ever done this before, nor should they have ever done this, but they had to make an apology to Tucker. Let me back up. It's this one right here. They had to make an apology to Tucker Carlson over the debate over women in the service. Ted Cruz is trying to look in to see who's responsible for it. But if you'll go down, Tucker was doing a subject about the Marines. And where is it? Here's what they put. What it looks like in today's armed forces at Tucker Carlson, get right before you get left, boomer. I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
I'd have to have somebody that speaks that language, and then they tagged all of this. And so Tucker talked about it, and then they had to go back and make an apology of whatever that really means.
Yeah.
I don't know what boomer means.
I don't know either.
But they've had to make an apology to Tucker on the subject. Now, and Tucker is one of those, you either like him or you don't, but I will tell you this about Tucker. He is fair when he interviews somebody, And whether he agrees with them or not, he will let them say their piece.
Yeah, yeah.
How many
Now,
times?
he might rip them to shreds right.
Right.
after that.
But
But
how
he's
many-
going to let you speak.
How many times have you heard that saying of, I'll give you the whole hour on my show if you'll just come for the interview? They open their mouth and then they're jumped on and they never get anything out.
Right, yeah.
That gets so
Yeah.
old. Tucker also in the news, and I have to give him credit on this because he's going to call it what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. We didn't watch it, and most Americans, it's even less than half of what people watched on the Grammys last year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason. It's gone to the dogs, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got junk, and I'm going to call it junk because that's what it is, trashy junk.
Yeah, this was porn.
Yeah, it was. I mean, basically. And, you know, you got this kind of junk on TV, and this is fine. This is okay. This is on primetime TV for
That
the
picture right
world
there.
to see, and kids and all, you know.
Yeah.
And they think that's cool to put that up there. But you're going to take books, Dr. Seuss books, that these twisted adults have gotten in their mind that something is in it that's going to, you know, that is going to confuse young kids or it's racist or whatever. I mean, that is not what children
Dumbo,
think.
come on.
It's not what children think. It's you twisted adults that come up with junk like that. You know, I mean, it's just crazy.
Women grinded on TV. This should not be allowed.
Right. That is
Look
just,
at this.
Yeah, that is just ridiculous.
Tucker called it what it really was, to where a lot of the news media applauds them for standing their ground. And
Yeah.
That is bad for our kids. Where is America headed?
I mean, it's going south quick.
So call your congressman. Tell them what you think. Don't watch shows like that. So long as they're getting ratings, they will keep doing more and more. Because when people quit watching, it costs them money. And this is going to be an expensive one because there were so few. Now, what they're going to try to play it off is, it's the pandemic. People just wasn't watching. And they'll try it again next year. So remember that.
Well, you got all kind of junk. I mean, just like we were talking about the Cadbury commercial, this mess, I don't know.
Now, another story that broke yesterday in L.A., and as I watched it, you almost thought, okay, it's like some of these scenes that we've I remember a few years ago where the guy got on the sidewalk and ran over like 18 people.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought this might be one of those stories at first. 5 people were run over under a tunnel, an underpass. It turns out it was a 71-year-old man that had been drinking. Impaired is the way. They didn't say drinking, they said impaired. And as you look at this story here, of course, I think he's in jail now, but he ran over 5 people. 3 people died.
Is there still? I didn't know if that was.
No, that's just, you were thinking, no.
I thought that was a person under the car. I was like, oh, goodness.
That's just some of the stuff there where he ran through. They were probably right there, and he ran through that.
Oh, my goodness.
But a horrible accident, as you'll see there, those yellow.
Yeah.
That is. I'll back away from that. But
That's horrible.
you know, don't drink drive is all I can tell you. And there's no way to protect yourself from something like that. You don't know when it's going to
Oh,
happen.
yeah. You don't.
But that was a big headline yesterday. I watched it, and with the weather going on, I backed away from putting a lot of stories out there because we're focusing on weather over the next couple of days here. And I'll go back to putting stories and big things that happen across the nation after we get past the weather. I want it to be easy if you need to find something about weather to where it's on the page and quick access. That's what I'm up to. As we go through this, y'all expected it. As we brought up yesterday, gas, when I went to get it from a lawnmower, $3.05 a gallon for lawnmower gas now.
Oh, my gosh.
$26 to fill up a lawnmower. Ridiculous. What's coming next? Here's the headline. Joe raising taxes.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand some of it, but there's going to be tax hikes everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if you think, they told me the middle class is not going to get squat and watch, as the old saying happens.
Yeah.
It's coming. So
they were trying to explain something about selling, like if you go to sell a home. I'm not sure exactly. Did you see
I hadn't
that?
seen any of that, no.
The age of the home, they'll go back to tax what the home was at. I don't understand it all,
but they've got a new tax of some sort coming on selling your home.
Yeah, like if you inherit a home and you want to sell it or something, or taxes on that home, it's going to somehow depend on what the home was first bought at. or maybe you could sell it. I don't understand it. You'd have to go back and look at it. I probably shouldn't even brought it up if I didn't really know, but
You're just saying there is something going on with selling a home.
It is. It's something, and it's not going to be in your favor. It's going to be something.
Imagine not.
Where, yeah. It's like they're cutting everybody's throat everywhere.
So keep that in mind, and I do want to look that up to find out. And we'll see what we can find out to tell you exactly what went on.
There was a guy who explained it last night through an interview, but it was just a brief one, and then I was going to try to go back and watch it again so I'd really understand what he was talking about. But it has to do with even stuff you inherited. Usually you weren't really taxed on inheritance or something.
Trump had loosened that stuff to where, there were so many people that, say your family had land for generations and generations. He cut back on that tax to where you wouldn't hit with that. There's a name for it, something tax.
Yeah. Well, now I think you are. I think that's changed.
Because, it's families that had, say, 3,000 acres of land forever, and it's their ranch. And it gets passed down, and each family member was getting taxed again, having to rebuy it. And that's not right. If your family is paid for something, you should not be taxed on it again.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
Same.
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
I know.
So that's one of the headlines there. If be ready, taxes are going up. When taxes go up, people quit adding on in their businesses because it's going to cost them more. And they think, well, if I don't do that, I'll still make the same amount of money, so why create more jobs?
Yeah.
That's what happens. I hate to say it that way. Have you ever watched, and it puzzles me, Utah, for a state, believes in this, you can have more than one wife. And it may be illegal in the state, but they still do it. And that TV show of the guy that's got the 4 wives, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And I'm trying to think of what it. Let's pull up the story. He feels, oh, bless his heart here in the story, that he's a rag doll being torn between his 4 wives. And he has no say in his schedule.
Well, poor pitiful him.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
This is him. Is he like Mr. Stud Muffin there, and that makes him desirable? You tell me.
I
don't understand it.
That's a twisted situation right there. I don't understand it.
But
I can't feel sorry for somebody that feels like he's torn because he's got 4 wives.
And the best I understand, I watched it once or twice through the years. I hadn't watched it in 2 or 3 years now. But each one of those women work. They've bought their own house, and he just bumps around to each one of them. Let's say he stays a night here, he goes there a night, and goes around. He's worried that he's going to spread coronavirus.
I wouldn't be worried it was coronavirus
like
he's spreading. Yeah,
but he's got a pile of young'uns.
Don't you know, though? There's bound to be tension between these 4 women.
But they went into it willingly is what just blows my mind. I don't understand.
I don't know unless they just knew they were going to try to get on TV and have fame.
Would you want to share Kurt?
No.
Like get him once a week?
No.
He had to do a lot of honeydews in 24 hours.
I would not be a sharer.
But they
I don't share well when it comes to my husband. No.
Utah, the state, and there's a name for it, and that's where isn't that where what's the senator that is against Trump? That ran for president that lost a few years ago and we don't like him.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you know him. It's not Mitch. It's, I'll think of it. He ran with...
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He's a Republican, right?
Yeah, he's a Republican.
But he's Romney.
Yeah. Mitt. What's his first name?
Mitt.
I was trying to say Mitch.
We've drawn a blank. Yeah. Mitt Romney, yeah.
He's from there, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he?
I think so. I think he is.
But that's a whole different type
that
of
is
life.
Just a twisted situation right there, though.
I think that's against the law here in Mississippi to do that.
I don't know.
Best I remember.
Gee, what we're watching here?
Well, that's kissing. Let's turn that off. I don't know what they're kissing. There's a bunch of people kissing on television there. I bring this next story up because I'm not sure that we will ever get the true meaning of this. It's back in the headline. 2 men are charged with assaulting the cop that died at the U.S. Capitol. But they didn't kill him. Whatever they did to him did not murder him. And they still do not know or are not telling us how he died.
Well, the man, they're saying they sprayed him with bear spray. I don't know if you saw that. They're saying that they sprayed him with a chemical, and I think the chemical was supposedly bear spray. But, yeah, they don't know if that's what killed him or not. And like you said, they're saying they don't know if they'll ever find out what killed him. But
this is the officer right here.
They have, right after they cremated him.
So
I
he
think.
was. Oh yeah. So you
You know?
can't go back and do anything now because
I just that's a little fishy situation right there.
it is.
That's just like when JFK Jr. died in the plane. They cremated him right off.
Yeah, he was gone.
You know, supposedly.
My conspiracy theory chick.
Yes. Who knows?
What do you know about the grassy knoll?
I don't know.
If you watched the movie Shooter,
Uh-huh.
you know they reference back to the JFK thing and that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That is something that never will reach the American public. The truth.
Yeah.
We need to say good morning to Linda Shoemaker, watching from Pigeon Forge. Well,
That's
scuba
nice.
folks on vacation. I hope y'all enjoying it up there.
Yeah. I hope it's pretty up there. I don't know if the bad weather is going to head that way, isn't it, or is it not?
Well, I'd have to go back and look at the map there.
Well, we don't have. Anyway,
Okay.
I know it's going to go
I
up
hadn't
near
looked at-
Memphis. We don't know about in Pigeon Forge.
Memphis, I do know.
Yeah.
Good morning to Penny, Debbie Penny. Also, Ann Cook watching today. Miss Joyce Godwin there in Tennessee. I know Murfreesboro's going to get a little bit of the weather there. Elmer Talbert, good morning. Let's see here. Here's some information on what you were talking about. March 10th of 90 was when the tornado hit on Highway 145 over towards Zero. The baby was found in the tree. So
Yeah,
that was
that's when I
1990.
was talking about. Yeah, I was in the 10th grade, I think.
We acting like you're young and stuff.
I was a mere child.
Good morning to Linda Culpepper also, and also to Donna Sue. Thanks for the heads up on the nasty stuff she says. So that's the good mornings we've gotten so far this morning. Let's talk about the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, where you can go down and, well, they've got so much going on. As spring comes about, if you need flowers, they got plenty of these. Go by for your knickknacks and your yard. You do call this yard ornaments, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what that's called?
Yeah.
Whether you're looking for do you need a pig in front of your house?
No,
The pig there
I don't
almost
think I
blends
need
in if you're not paying attention to
It's
the
got
picture.
wings when pigs fly. I'll tell you.
Maybe you need a cactus, but it's plenty of things to decorate your yard, make it look great, including the beautiful flowers this time of year. They can do that for you. Also, more flowers, yeah, potted plants. We've got those for you, including as you get ready for your gardens. They've got all of this to be set up, and we can take care of your sod. Maybe you're needing to fix your grass today. Would have been a great day to hand it out to get that good rain.
Lord, I hope you hadn't planted your gardens, though. They might get flooded out.
It's going to be a lot of rain on that
So,
end
yeah.
tomorrow. Over the next 24 hours, so to speak, there. But you can get a great deal on it, $135 a pallet for the centipede and $180 a pallet for the St. Augustine grass.
I didn't get any grass. I was going to go get some sod, but I didn't get to do
Yeah, I
that.
need to get on this
I
after
know,
the rain.
I do.
Let's see here. If you need trees to plant, fruit trees, they've got plenty of those. And, of course, all your insecticides and fertilizer. And I was looking to see if I got a remark from her on that.
I know, I wasn't going to say anything.
Disinfectant, we got plenty of that, whether you need it by the bottle or just simply the wipes. T-shirts, blue jeans, overalls, boots. These are great boots to wear tomorrow to keep your feet protected, along with all of your seed and fertilizer, and, of course, your horse and cattle feed and guns, scopes, and ammo, all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in to see them today. There's something there that you need.
Yeah.
Always is. Great place to go and just spin around, walk around, take a look.
Yes.
So, are you going to do any butter beans this year?
No, I'm not planting any butter beans. I just buy my butter beans.
You just found out that you like doing that better?
Yeah, I can't
Don't have the
stand
green
a
thumb?
shell of butter bean. I mean, my thumbs, I used to do that when I was younger with
Butter
my
beans seemed to
grandparents.
open better. It was the purple hole that was harder.
The peas, you'd have purple fingers.
Oh,
and, yeah. Pink eye, purple hull peas.
Or
my
thumb there be
grandparents.
so sore you couldn't.
Yeah. I just seen buy my peas and butter beans and stuff like that already done, like in the store or something. But I love tomatoes, though, fresh tomatoes. And I did eggplant last year. We did those, and we did bell peppers, sweet potatoes. We planted a lot of stuff last year. I don't think we're going to plant as much this year. If I was home every day and I could put stuff up, I just don't have time.
I get that.
I used to do, put up stuff and can tomatoes, and I just don't have time.
I know
but I love
last
to
year
eat
there
it.
was a lot of folks saying that the canning supplies were in
Oh, yeah.
short.
I think it's still that way, if I'm not mistaken. Now I would like to can some tomatoes this year because I just love to have those for soups and
Right.
stuff like that in the wintertime. But anyway,
Now, have you ever watched this show, The Talk, that has Sharon Osbourne on it?
I have. It's been a while, but I used to watch it some here and there.
And it's not going to be, it wasn't on yesterday and it wasn't on today because an investigation has broke out.
Oh, wow.
Sharon took up for Pierce, the guy that walked off the television set in Great Britain over the Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I think that's her name. But she got into an argument with the co-host on there, and she wouldn't back up. And they're trying to figure out. I guess these are the two co-hosts. This is Sharon, and I'm not sure of her name there.
Holly Robinson.
Okay.
Pete.
Well, they got into an argument live on air, and it got pretty heated from what I'm understanding. And they've ceased production until they get to the bottom of the case. She stood up for Pierce, and what Pierce said was that the girl, Meghan Markle, was in the wrong.
Yeah.
And he ended up walking off his job over it.
Yeah.
Almost a $2 million salary.
I bet she and Pierce ends up having a talk show of their own. What you think?
Could. He tried it on CNN and didn't work because he is liberal leaning. But even if he is liberal leaning, I have to give him credit of a lot of news stories that he does. He does put the facts in it. I'll give him credit on that.
Because a lot of people don't do that.
No, they
just
don't.
tell what they want to tell and let that be it. Or they adjust it to how it sounds good to them.
I did see where a family member, a first cousin of the Meghan, says that he should get ready because a divorce is going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad kind of for Prince Harry because I feel like, I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, because he's got a ring in his nose and she's pulling it. Let's just go ahead and call it
well,
what it is.
if they do end their marriage at any point, he's kind of just...
You can't go home.
No, I hate to say screwed, but that's what he is. He's messed up,
There's another Southern word that I
right.
cannot use on here of what he is, and I think most people know what I mean. But he's hooked.
Yeah, he's
Whooped.
You better get him a job lined.
Because she gonna keep everything
Right.
y'all done got together and nested there without. This is a sad story as we go to this. Indiana, a 14-year-old boy is arrested after a missing 6-year-old girl is found dead. And apparently he had something to do with it. And that's the little girl there. How do you kill at 14?
Yeah, obviously there's not something just right with somebody like that at that young age. Yeah. When I see kids stuff happening to kids like that, it makes me mad. It breaks my heart though. It's just awful. It's an awful thing. I cannot imagine. I just hope I never have to go through anything like that. I don't know if I could take it.
It is a horrible thing. So that's one of the headlines that's going on today. Something new coming to Facebook is as I mentioned a while ago, that they said in 3 days a new look is coming. They've also are going to be labeling. You know how they started labeling things, and that's not true with the political thing.
Yeah,
they're going to start labeling things dealing with COVID. So be ready. Some of your posts may not make it past it in Facebook in the next few days.
I wish some. I don't know.
I know what you think.
I'm just saying. Goodness.
Have you seen this? A car wreck happened. Let's see where this was. This was in Mobile. Let's look at this here. This is. Let's pull this up here where you can actually see
live
this.
Power lines?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This fella on a car. She had a wreck, and people were trying to get her out, and then bam. So, and keep this in mind. I went over this.
And that's laying on the car.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you ever come up on a wreck and there's a power line laying on the car, whatever you do not touch it. It will kill you. That car is energized. If you grab that door handle, it will kill you instantly. If somebody's still in the car and they're okay, wait till the electric company comes to kill the power. Because if you rush in, it's odd. There's nothing that can be done for you either. So, but in a moment of you come up on a wreck and you're trying to help somebody, you don't always clearly think on that.
And too, like with it wet and stuff, if there's a power line down in water,
don't stick your foot off.
Do not get out in that water. I don't know that it would.
I did not watch this movie because I was always spooked. I never thought. I'm not one to pay to be scared. Is that a way to word this?
I don't like scary stuff.
I ain't watching scary movies.
Yeah, I don't like
because it bothers me. I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and think somebody's hiding under my bed.
I don't like all that gruesome. Yeah. Shoot them up, kill them.
And we all know when the bad guy's after you, Get away from them. But no, what do? They always run back in the house so he can get them.
Look, you know the hockey mask
Yeah.
thing? Okay, well, I had to go through going through McDonald's, there's one of the little guys that works at one of the windows, and his thing that he puts across his face looks like one of them hockey masks. Like, and if I ain't mistaken, it looks like it's got some blood or something. I don't know. Get you a different one. I don't like that. Freaks me out.
I can see.
But yeah, I don't like all that.
But,
That
you know,
mess.
the
Freddie
movie
and Jason.
Amityville Horror is what I'm talking about. And that really happened. This guy, as we pull this up, he killed his mother, father, and 4 siblings in their beds. And he has passed away in prison. He was 69 years old. 69 years old, and if you go back, that's him when he did it. A twisted individual.
Yeah. It's horrible.
But he's gone, and that's the house. That house sold a couple years ago. Would you have bought that house?
No, I would not. I would not want that house.
That's a 79 Caddy sitting in the yard, so I'm not, that was,
That kind of reminds. Is that like the Happy Days house to you?
it does kind of have that look, or My Three Sons.
Yeah, one of those houses. I can't remember.
But that house still exists, and it has sold through the years. Somebody redone it, but I wouldn't want to stay there.
No.
Because if you get into the ghost stories and all these,
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's bound to be somebody walking in there, if that exists. Not saying it does.
Well, I ain't finding out. I wouldn't move. I would not be the one.
Here's
like,
a picture of the front of the house. Let's look at that, of
doesn't
what
it
it
look
looks
so
like.
Cute?
Yeah.
I bet it's got some cute ghosts up in it. Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to stay in that?
No, I would not.
Yeah. Okay.
Something would follow me home, like one of them spirits or something. I do believe in junk. Like I don't care what y'all. I'm not taking a chance.
I have heard over and over that Hanks will follow you.
I don't like all those. What do you call them shows? My kids used to like to turn that stuff on, and I'd
Oh, the
make them turn it on.
paranormal?
Yes, yes. I don't like all that stuff. I don't like it turned on in my house, like on TV. I just feel like you opening up a door to junk like that. I don't like it. I don't like Ouija boards.
You know, and I have never been into any seance stuff. But, you know, we used to do on the radio, we went and stayed in all these homes that were supposedly haunted. And then we had that psychic chick show up at that one. And then when she mailed me the holy water and told me something bad was going to happen to me because she had sensed it, that freaked me out. I'm not going to lie. That really...
That would really freak me out, too.
It was the water that had been blessed by the Mother Mary or something, and I quit reading after that, after she told me something bad was going to happen to me. I said, ooh, I don't need to be around you.
Yeah, I don't know. That it just kind of...
I agree.
Yeah.
Go on with yourself. Let's see. We brought this up when it happened, that something was fishy. The car wreck that Tiger Woods was in. You know, he goes to the hospital. They say, oh, he fell asleep. But nobody at any point ever checked his blood alcohol level when he went. People are starting to go, now.
Yeah.
They're saying that, yeah, this was probably done in his favor because, well, there's a chance that something could have been there. We'll never know now.
Yeah.
But you could see the writing on the wall on this when it happened. It is customary that you do that when a wreck happens.
Yeah. I mean, how do you go across that? Like, I mean, he crossed the median, right?
Jumped it.
At full
and
speed.
and
like,
wrecked.
Yeah. It's just a wonder he didn't,
And, they were
lose his
saying he
life
was
in
asleep.
it.
How could you, and it was only a 5-minute drive. How can you fall asleep at 7 in the morning when he's yelling at somebody when he gets ready to take off?
Yeah. Yeah.
But sound like a buddy system, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But don't have any blood to check on that. News this morning is Prince Philip has gone home. He has gone. He has driven home. He's driving up to Windsor Castle. So congratulations to them. He spent 4 weeks in the hospital.
Oh, goodness.
And I'll be honest, I was thinking any day we'd get that news.
Oh, yeah, because he's on up there in age.
99.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. He must be a strong.
He's still kicking. And he's back at the castle now. And how old is Queen Elizabeth?
I don't even know.
Didn't she take over in 1820 or something? I don't mean to be
No,
rude on that.
I mean, I don't know exactly how old she is, but I would think she's on up there in age, too.
Yeah.
She'd probably be up there close to what he is, I would imagine.
Let's see, other news this morning. What happens when you come home, there's been a plane crash right in front of your house? Let's pull this up. I show you this one. So what do? You go to your Ring doorbell to take a look at this. This is the video. Look, watch this. Let's pull this up where you can see here.
my goodness. It just like hit the car head on.
It did. And that's what they got that off their doorbell ring.
My goodness, that was horrible.
I think the
What a
people in the
freak
car
accident.
were okay, but the people in the airplane did make it out of that.
Lord.
That's scary. That was in Florida, around Miami, is where that happened.
That is so scary. I mean, you hear so many times lately of planes crashing on the highways, and I guess they don't know where else to try to land.
Yeah, you got
know.
to try to.
You got to try to land it, Some of them are lucky and they can, but that was
Now,
horrible.
this next one, we go back to Florida, and all I can imagine is this lady stopped to tie her shoe, is the only thing that makes sense. We'll show you the video. Imagine you come out of Cracker Barrel. You're going to your car, wherever it is.
Yeah.
And there's a truck parked there, and she just sits down in the middle of the parking lot. I'm assuming from the camera angle that maybe she was tying her shoe. The guy gets in his truck. He doesn't see her. He runs over her. A 49-year-old woman. Let's pull this up here where you can see
Lord.
this. So never do this is why we say
Did
this.
he kill her?
No, she lived, but she's hurting. Here she goes walking. All right, she's getting ready to stop. All right, there he is. And why isn't that playing? All right, she's going to bend down. See, he's at his
It
truck
looks
over
like
here
she
doing.
saw something on the ground and she's bent down looking at it, picking it up and looking at it to me.
Well, she's been there a few moments. He's getting something out of the back of his truck. Let me see if I can move this forward a little bit so we're not watching this for 10 minutes before it all happens. I should have edited that before we went live with that. But he runs over and never sees her.
And he just keeps going. Don't
Yeah.
you know he's ran over something?
The truck jumped.
Yeah, I mean, he like going over a speed bump. I mean,
you go back. I mean, how could you not feel that?
Yeah, something's not on the up and up with that. I would think.
That's horrible. That was the security footage that come out of a Cracker Barrel there in Florida, the lady that done that. And again, I apologize
just
for taking so
crazy.
long. And he
No.
don't even look back. He just goes on with it. So
Lord,
Just today at
I
1
feel
o'clock,
for her.
there were two.
So we don't know where that's headed.
that is crazy. I mean, he knew he ran over something. You're in a flat parking lot and you have a boom, boom.
You would have to at least think it's a curb.
Right.
And get out and check your truck.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a parking lot and, you cut your wheel too sharp.
I'm
and
bad about running up on a curb or running off an edge of a curb or something.
You don't think.
Yeah, I'm bad about that.
I wouldn't think, Candace.
That vehicle is huge.
Have you already scrubbed your wheels? The curb?
I think the other day I did, and I was hoping I didn't hit the rim because it's hard to determine though, like on
so
those big vehicles like that.
Could you
if you're-
parallel park?
Not in that, I wouldn't.
Okay, I'll just check it.
No, I don't know. It's got the backup camera. I'm just not real trusting of the backup
I
camera.
don't know if they do it anymore, but when I was 14 back in the day when you could get your driver's license at 14, you had to do parallel parking to get them.
Now, I can parallel park fine in my car because I can see all the way around me. But in that vehicle, there's so many blind spots. Like the seats are real high up back here.
Yeah.
And then there's not enough of a gap where you can see in between the seat to look out
Yeah,
the
what
window.
we're going to do one day is we're going to go out with a camera and we're going to go to a parking lot and put up some cones and see if she can actually parallel park.
I can do it with my camera. The camera is pretty accurate. It just scares me. I just to look at a camera and not really look. I can't trust the camera. Kurt constantly
You have to use your
tells me-
mirrors.
Well, Kurt constantly says, watch the camera. I'm like, I can't just trust that thing.
I'll
know.
look at the distance and bumpers, but as far as curbs
Well, I have sensors all the way around the vehicle. There's sensors, I guess, on all sides.
Yeah.
And so even in the backup camera, if something starts to come from the right or the left or whatever, it
hollers.
beeps and has an arrow showing where it's coming from. So that's a good thing.
yeah, mine ain't got that.
That's a real good thing.
But you remember the day on 8th Street in Meridian, Mississippi, of if you parked on the side of that road to parallel, you had to do it in a hurry.
Yeah.
You had to pull up, whip in, and be out of the way because you'd block traffic.
well, I know how to parallel park. I do.
She's bragging.
I don't like it.
I think we need to find out.
Just let me be in my car.
Now, we're going to take the big one. Let's head out to Freeman Tractor, where they're going to take care of you. See, coleslaw or buttermilk if you're needing a lawnmower, tractor, any of these types needs. We're talking Skag, Exmark. They've got power equipment that, well, it's waiting on you there. As we drop in to take a look here, they've got the Exmark lawnmower starting at $29.99. If you need one, go by and see them today. Excellent lawnmowers. They come with a great warranty as well, and different styles, models to choose from, but you can get into it starting at $29.99. That Skag, when you move up that next notch there, starting at $46.99. And of course, they've got dual gas tanks on them. You'll love them. They'll cut all day on one fill up there. And if you do that for a living, that matters. You know how many times you have to stop. You need to go.
Oh, yeah.
Because time is money if you do that for a living. As we look at this, the different styles as we go into lawnmowers and tractors.
That would be nice to have a cab that's air conditioned. And
you see, the neat thing about that is you ain't got to be worrying about them bees grabbing you.
That's what I was going to say. If you ran over something, surely I don't guess they could get up in there, could they?
No, I've never seen anybody have one jump in there. There's always a way, I guess,
Yeah.
but I've never seen that happen. That's why a lot of people want that.
Yeah.
Because you hit them yellow jackets, woo! As we go, if you need a front end loader, they got plenty of these to choose from with the Bush Hog, the new attachment there. If you hadn't seen this, drop in and see them. They'll show you this. Easy to work. It's great. As we go through, we got Bush Hogs, 5 foot, 6 foot. If you need a bat wing, all of the equipment with disc, they've got them. Forklifts, the benchies, these are great. You can get 0% for up to 60 months on that Warrior 1000. You can get it with the cab, air conditioning, heat. Wonderful. The 550s, the 750s, different colors to choose from. If you need an ATV, see them. They're made in Texas. One of the newest models there, the Benchy. See them there at Freeman Tractor. Coleslaw, buttermilk, 626-8759 for all your parts and accessories. What am I forgetting?
I don't think there's anything other than just touch base on the weather again.
Yeah, we want you to, let's go back to radar and just see what kind of rain we've got at this point right now. Let me turn off right here real quick the severe stuff so we can see what's going on with radar right now. Here it is. As we zoom in, we go to the edge of Alabama here, and there is a flash flood warning here. This is Pleasant Hill, Alabama, in this area here. As you zoom in on this, this is going to be Gilberttown, Toxie, all this area through Butler. Keep that in mind, and that's going to run until 3:15 this afternoon. We do have some light shower, heavier stuff down here now. As you look at this on the east side, Waynesboro, east of Waynesboro into Silas, this area here. As we go up through Clark County, hit and miss some Pachuta, you got some heavier rain there. Also Montrose, Bay Springs, Lauderdale, some light stuff. And Kemper, very, very light rain. That's where we're headed today. Again, I'll be on this all day today, keeping you updated as we prepare for the worst of the worst tomorrow with our weather.
I'm just not looking forward to it.
No.
I'll tell you what. Oh, I dread it.
So any big plans today?
No, I just got to go to the dentist.
Whoa.
Dentist. I'm going to work for just a little while this morning, then I got to go to the dentist, and then I'm off the rest of the day.
Always wear your cowboy boots in case they do something you don't like.
Oh,
You protect yourself.
Look, I have anxiety when I go to the dentist.
Do you?
I'm like a kid. Yes, I do not like going to the dentist. I don't know. It scares me.
The only thing I guess it could be worse, and I'm going to call the name wrong, but you'll have to, I know this worse than going to the dentist, and I've never been, is that where you go and they check you to make sure with the light.
The light.
Where they hang you up upside down and stick a light up your rear.
Like
What's
colonoscopy.
That word I couldn't think of.
Yeah, I have not done that yet. I hope,
It gives me
But
the
anyway.
heebie-jeebies thinking about it.
Yeah,
part
that
of
would not
life.
be it. That wouldn't be one you look forward to.
Just makes me
They put you out though, Scotty Ray.
it makes me uncomfortable thinking
Yeah,
about it.
They put you out.
But they say you got to do it at some point.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm eventually going to have a wisdom tooth cut out. So I'm definitely not looking forward to that. And And I will say there better not be any videoing of me after the fact. You know how these people
Oh,
video
yeah.
their kids after they get their wisdom teeth cut out and they saying all this weird stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
don't let me near you because I do it. Talk to me, Candace.
There's no telling. I don't do good under medication.
You just blubber.
I really don't do good under when I've been coming out of being put to sleep. I'm pretty much I'm jabbering.
Chatty.
Yeah. So I won't do good with that.
Don't be telling
Don't want any videos.
Candace any secrets anytime that she's going to be under the knife.
Yeah. I
She'll
don't-
tell the doctor anything.
There's no telling what I'd say. I'm telling you. And I don't need any video cameras.
There you go. Again, we want to say thank you for joining us this morning and sharing part of your lives with us. We'll be back throughout the day into tomorrow, and again tomorrow morning with more news headlines and things that's happening to help you out. Again, thanks, and we'll be back. Thanks for being a part of Scotty Ray's Weather with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by